Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest updates. We start with Sergio Busquets as FC Barcelona have made an official statement talking about the extent of Busquets' injury that he picked up in yesterday's game against Sevilla, as Barcelona have confirmed the ankle injury to the midfielder and he's set to miss the clash against Manchester United in the Europa League. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, we are going to conclude this episode talking about 5 key stats from that impressive display against Sevilla yesterday. 5 key stats is very important. So guys, before we get right into the full story, if you haven't subscribed, please do make sure to subscribe so you always stay in touch with the latest updates here on my channel, and please watch the video right up to the very end. After Sergio Busquets was taken off with an injury very early in the game against Sevilla last night, Barcelona have confirmed that the 34-year-old has sustained a sprain in his ankle ligament. The veteran midfielder lasted just 4 minutes in the Sevilla encounter, as he had to be taken off after a clash with Youssef En-Nesyri led to an injury that he was unable to shake off. Issuing an official statement on the nature of Busquets' injury, Barcelona said tests carried out this morning have shown that Sergio Busquets has sprained the external lateral ligament of his left ankle. He is low and its evolution will mark his availability. It had been claimed that the former Spanish international could be out for 15 days. Following the update on his injury, journalist David Ibanez is reporting that Busquets could be sidelined for a period of 2 to 3 weeks and is considered to be practically ruled out of the match against Manchester United. Barcelona locked horns with the Premier League giants in the first leg of the UEFA Europa League playoffs on February 16 at Spotify Camp Nou. And given the prognosis of Busquets' injury, the club captain is unlikely to recover in time for the big game against Manchester United. Before that, he will also miss the important La Liga encounter versus Villarreal away at the Estadio de Ceramica. Busquets became the second casualty in recent games for Barcelona, who also lost Ousmane Dembele to an injury during the game against Girona a couple of weeks back. The Frenchman is also ruled out for the first leg against United and might be unable to return in time for the second leg either. Busquets' unavailability will be a blow for us, and it's a shame to lose Busquets at this period of time when we need important players to keep our season going well, smoothly. And Dembele, who got injured some 2 weeks back, now we are seeing Busquets, one of the other important players in the team, also getting out of the squad, all because of injury. I think manager Xavi will be worried. We all know the significance Xavi puts on Captain Busquets in his team, and definitely his unavailability will be a big factor. Of course, with very important games coming up, Villarreal, which will not be an easy encounter, United coming up next week, Thursday. It's going to be very, very tricky, so let's just see how it's going to look like. Very tricky it will be. Busquets, of course, also having issues about his future at Barcelona. So there's still a lot to be decided on that as it stands. But right now, focusing on the games at hand, it's very important to have many players fit. But the fact that we're seeing some of our players leaving out because of injuries, then it's going to be, something disturbing. So right now in midfield, Xavi will going to be focused on Franquisi, who is also available, Pedri, Gavi, Frankie de Jong. I think those are the 4 midfielders that Xavi can rely upon at the moment, which I think they are still very good players that they can still, contribute much to the team in the upcoming games that are not going to be easy. Of course, we saw the likes of Franquisi, who might be playing more regularly now because of Sergio Busquets' absence. And yesterday's game against Sevilla, I think he had an absolute good performance, and if he can continue like that to show what he's got, so that Xavi can always trust in him, then that will be better. That will be good for the team. I think if Franquisi can also use this opportunity for Xavi to show us what he's got, And of course, it will be something of a turning point in his Barca career. Of course, we all know Frank Kessie have not had that opportunity to play regularly. And if Xavi fancied him, maybe seeing this performance yesterday against Sevilla, of course, he might play a big part in the upcoming games against Villarreal, against United. Of course, with the other games that are at hand. So let's just see how it goes, how Xavi rotates that midfield and see who plays more in that. Then on to the next story of discussion. Barca cruised to a 3-0 triumph over Jorge Sampaoli's Sevilla side to increase their lead atop the La Liga standings to 8 points. Coming into the game, knowing that Real Madrid had lost to Mallorca, Barca made sure to capitalize on their rival slip-up and widen the gap between the two teams to 8 points. Jordi Alba opened the scoring for Barcelona in the second half before midfield prodigy Xavi doubled the advantage. Rafinha, who had set up the second, then made it 3-0 in the 79 minutes to secure a statement win for Xavi Hernandez's side over Sevilla. The Brazilian winger has come under some fire for not hitting the heights expected of him since arriving in the summer. But in recent matches, the ex-Leeds United ace has been pulling his weight and making valuable contributions. So the first stat we can talk about is in 2023, Rafinha has been directly involved in 8 goals in all competitions. That is 4 goals and 4 assists, more than any other La Liga player. Meanwhile, another stat, the Brazilian winger also edged past Ousmane Dembele, 7, to become the Barca player with the most assists this season in all competition, 8. The Blaugrana played a near foul-less game, hardly offering any chances to the Sevilla on the night, so it was hardly a surprise to see the La Liga leaders emerge with yet another clean sheet, their 15th clean sheet in the league this season. So in the process, the next stat is Barcelona became the first team in La Liga history to register 14 wins with a clean sheet in their first 20 games of a league season. The Catalans are now second on the list of teams to have conceded the fewest number of goals, 7 after 20 league games. Only Deportivo La Corona back in 93-94 season, 6 had managed to let a fewer at this stage of the season. With the win over Sevilla, Xavi has now leveled Pep Guardiola's tally with 109 points from his first 46 La Liga matches in charge of Barcelona. Only Luis Enrique has a greater points tally after 46 games. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.